Publicity Committee, and that committee will be co-chaired by the state broadcaster, LBS. The National Steering Committee, of course, is chaired by the Ministry of Youth and Sports. The Protest and Disciplinary Committee for the Intra-Governmental League is chaired by the General Auditing Commission and all integrated institutions of government serving as members. Yesterday, there was a huge donation on behalf of the government of the People's Republic of China to the people of Liberia. Liberia healthcare sector received a major boost with donation of advanced medical equipment and supplies from the Chinese government. The consignment handed over at the John F. Kennedy Medical Center on Wednesday, 2nd of April 2025, is expected to strengthen Liberia's medical infrastructure, particularly in the fight against cardiovascular diseases. The nation establishes Liberia's first ever cardiology unit at the GFP. The unit will focus on diagnosing and treating heart-related conditions, marking a significant step forward in specialized healthcare services. Cardiovascular diseases have been a growing concern in Liberia, and it is believed that this initiative will be a life-saving one for many patients who previously had limited treatment options. Speaking at the handover ceremony, China Ambassador to Liberia reaffirmed Beijing's commitment to supporting Liberia's health sector. He described the donation as part of a broader effort to strengthen bilateral ties and enhance medical care in the country. He indicated that China remains a steadfast partner in Liberia's journey towards better healthcare delivery. And finally, yesterday the team from the Liberia Telecommunication Authority was at the PHP Park. Some were speculating that the government demolishing the park. It is not true. Here's the actual information. The Liberian government, through the Liberia Telecommunications Authority, LTE, and the Cable Consortium of Liberia, has launched urgent repair works on the country's only fiber optic cable, the Africa Coast to Europe ACE submarine cable, which provides Liberia's primary internet connectivity, has been at risk following a controversial construction project initiated by the former government. The construction of the PHP Park, despite warning from experts in the telecommunications sector, directly impacted the cable's landing site. It has been revealed that during the construction, large quantity of heavy rocks were placed over the cable, causing it to sink and disrupting connectivity. Since then, Liberia has endured frequent internet outages, with experts cautioning that a complete cut-off is imminent if no corrective measures are taken. So the work they were doing over there yesterday is not to break the park down, as some were speculating on social media. They want to rescue the cables. Because we see where the dock, the installation of all of the cables from the Atlantic Ocean, it passes through that corridor. And as a result of the construction of this part, it caused severe disruption. That is why the internet has not been functioning at full length in the country. So the LTA has intervened, and as part of the process, an ACE cable repair ship is scheduled to arrive in Liberia on 23rd October to conduct the necessary restoration work. We'd like to thank the LTA and team for being far-sighted in resolving some of the problems we have with internet availability in the country. Because in this ancient time, we always say data is life. So, that being said,
all right.
the minister? Yeah. The minister?
Yeah. Right?
Yes. The Minister of Agriculture.
High table here. Let me thank the family of the Liberia for giving us this opportunity today to stay here and raise some clarification. I remember on last Friday, while we were out of the country, there was the appearance of Senator Nathaniel McGill on the EFBC morning breakfast show, providing information to the public that the Ministry of Agriculture has mismanaged 200 million hours. We have come to provide clarification. Probably the senator is not well informed of what happened there. So for the sake of the public, we want to make a clarification. At the Ministry of Agriculture, we have two projects funded by the World Bank. The first is the STAR project, and that project was approved in 2019, valued at $48 million. Of the $48 million, the World Bank provided $25 million, and IFAD $28 million. But this is what happened to that money. When COVID happened in 2020, the government, of which Senator Mangere was a minister, reallocated $10.5 million of that money for COVID intervention. That money was not utilized by the Ministry of Agriculture. Part of that money went to WFP, and part of that money was managed by then EPA director and the Ministry of Agriculture. They used it to intervene in the sector, leaving that project with $38 billion for investment. Of the $38 billion, some of the money were used to support smallholders who were into agro businesses through the grant project that the ministry administered. And let me make it clear. First, this government that came to power in 2024 in January has not, under our stewardship at the Ministry of Agriculture, approved any grant to any farmer. I know the argument has been, we have been the one giving money to our friends. They say the Ministry of Agriculture is giving money to people who are in government, who are authorities in government, who are ministers, who are directors, and even senators. But I want to make it clear that under our leadership, we have not given out any single dime. All of the disbursements that have been made right now were agreements that were entered into between 2020 and 2023. We came and saw this contract already signed. All we have been observing has been disbursement to farmers who benefited from the grant. So for the STAR project, disbursement has been made, and the World Bank component of that project is ending this June. Now, we are trying to clarify the myth that there are $200 million that was mismanaged. The STAR project was $48 million, and the government, in its own wisdom at that time, took away $10.5 million from that project and used it something differently. The second project that we have there is the RETRAP. That's the Rural Economic Transformation Project, the RETRAP. The total financing for that project is $170 million. That includes the initial financing of $55 million and a second financing of $150 million. But this is how that money is being used. Out of the initial $55 million, $30 million was allocated for the construction of road in Lima County, the road that leads Tapeta to Tueta. It's a 40-kilometer road that the government saw necessary to use $30 million out of the initial $55 million to be used for that road. And that fund is now administered by the Ministry of Agriculture. That fund is administered by the Ministry of Public Works because it's road works. For the RETRAP, the second financing of $85 million, the second financing of $85 million is also meant for road construction. And the road that leads Tueta to Zwedi is funded under that initiative. The entire 85 plus the initial $30 million, making it $115 million out of a total of $170 million is being utilized by the Ministry of Public Works. It went through a financing agreement from the World Bank, but not utilized by us. So, out of the total of $220 million that came to the ministry, 115 of that amount is being used by the Ministry of Public Works to provide road construction services that link this country to neighboring countries. So the idea that we have received $200 million and mismanaged it is not true. A large proportion of that money was dedicated to road construction. And the good reason why today you will not see paved road between Liberia and Cote d'Ivoire is because when the contractors started to do the job, there was a need for some assessments. Those assessments were necessitated by the same World Bank consultants who came and said they saw an elephant footprint in the corridor where the road was supposed to be built, and needed to do biodiversity study to know how the construction of that road was going to impact the livestock in that ecosystem. And that work has been ongoing for more than 2 years. And the money, the $150 million, are still with the bank. They have not been dispersed to the country. Once the studies are completed, the bank will release the funding for the construction of that work. If you want to verify what I'm saying, you can check with the Ministry of Public Works to find out how much money that went through agriculture is dedicated to that work that they do with road construction in the country. One other thing I want to clarify is the idea that we as